Here's the latest hot stove buzz from FanRag Sports' John Heyman in his weekly look at all 30 teams. Yu Darvish is still on the radar for both the Cubs and Dodgers, though with some caveats. Chicago seem to be hoping that Darvish will choose them for reasons that are not economic, which implies that Darvish would drop his asking price to play for a World Series contender. In the Dodgers' case, there is some ambivalence by at least some at the ownership level about bringing Darvish back in the wake of his well-publicized struggles during the World Series. The overwhelming belief is that Chase Utley will be back with the Dodgers for another. Utley, who turned 39 last month, hit .236, .324, .405 in 353 PA in 2017, with most of those plate appearances coming against right-handed pitching. Beyond his lefty bat and backup capability at first and second base, Utley is also regarded as a strong leader within the Los Angeles clubhouse. Royals ownership was more than willing to move on from Eric Hosmer, though GM Dayton Moore is trying to do what he can to retain the core members of their 2014-15 pennant winners. Moore is still hoping that Hosmer can be resigned, though some cuts may need to be made to the KC payroll to facilitate the first baseman's return. The Yankees continue to monitor the infield market for second base or third base help, and discussed Mike Moustakas earlier this week. Moustakas would cost significantly more than some of New York's other targets, however, which doesn't fit the Yankees' plan of getting under the luxury tax threshold unless they can move other salaries. Earlier reports indicated that the Giants were willing to pay up to $230 mm of the $295 mm owed on Giancarlo Stanton's contract, though Heyman writes that San Francisco was actually willing to absorb all $295 mm. Some not upper-tier prospects also would have gone to the Marlins, since Stanton wasn't willing to waive his no-trade clause to join the Giants. Of course, it ended up being a moot point. The Cardinals were willing to take on roughly $265 mm of Stanton's deal and offered the best trade package in terms of prospects, according to a source who had seen the proposals Miami received from the Cards, Giants, and Yankees. The Marlins have received just limited interest in Starlin Castro in trade talks, and may have to eat some of the $22 mm remaining on his contract in order to complete a deal. Castro has already switched uniforms once this winter, going from the Yankees to the Marlins as part of the Stanton trade, and he has already asked Miami's front office to be dealt. Melky Cabrera has drawn some interest from the Marlins, Royals, and Pirates. There hasn't been much news on the veteran outfielder this winter, with only the Orioles also mentioned here by Heyman, previously reported to have discussed Cabrera's services. Jared Dyson's asking price was in the area of a 2-year, $14 mm deal, though the speedy outfielder has been receiving 1-year offers for less than a third of his hoped-for dollar figure. The Blue Jays, Giants, Mariners, and Orioles have been linked to Dyson at various times this winter, though the first 3 of those teams have since addressed their outfield needs with other players. Heyman adds Jamie Garcia's name to the list of veteran starters receiving consideration from the Orioles. Garcia posted a 4.41 ERA, 2.02 K BB rate, and 7.4 K, 9 over 157 innings for the Braves, Twins, and Yankees last. As noted by Heyman, the offs are particularly stringent when it comes to pitches. Medicals, which could be an issue in Garcia's case. The lefty has a history of shoulder problems and a Tommy John surgery on his record. The White Sox are looking for DH help, but they don't appear to be looking at the Dodgers' Matt Kemp as a trade possibility.